Have you ever wondered how a love story could turn into a thrilling roller coaster ride? Well, let's take a moment to delve into the peculiar beginning of such a tale. Picture this: a girl bipolar as a mofo, wildly unpredictable, her moods shifting as frequently as the wind changes direction. A guy brilliantly broken, his intrigue lying in the shattered pieces of his past. Now imagine their first meeting, not the kind you'd expect with polite introductions and a handshake. No, this was a rendezvous destined for the books. The girl, in a whirlwind of emotion, was a force to be reckoned with. Her unpredictable mood swings were like sudden gusts of wind, potent enough to knock over a cup of coffee, or three. Yes, you heard it right. 3 cups of coffee in a single encounter. Some would call it clumsiness, others might say bad luck. But for our protagonists, it was the spark that ignited a connection. The guy, however, was not your typical knight in shining armor. He was a puzzle, brilliantly broken, with each piece carrying a story, a secret, a scar. He was drawn to the girl's chaos, her energy, her unpredictability. It was like a moth to a flame, a mystery he couldn't resist unraveling. And so, amidst the aroma of spilled coffee and the sound of bewildered laughter, there was a certain charm, a charm that only they could perceive. It was the charm of unpredictability, of chaos, of the unknown. It was the charm of their potential love story. This encounter, marked by coffee stains and shared laughter, was only the beginning. The beginning of a tale that was anything but ordinary. A tale of passion, of madness, of love in its most chaotic form. A tale of 2 souls, wildly bipolar and brilliantly broken, finding each other in the most unexpected of circumstances. And just like that, amidst coffee stains and bewildered laughter, their chaotic love story began. Courting a bipolar girl is nothing less than an adventure, as our brilliantly broken guys soon discovered. Now let's take a moment to delve into the hilariously twisted courtship that unfolded. Our guy, armed with a heart full of love and a mind buzzing with confusion, found himself in the most unpredictable of situations. Imagine the scene. He plans an intimate, candlelit dinner at a cozy restaurant, hoping to impress her with his refined taste and charm. The menu is picked, the reservation is made, and he's all set to sweep her off her feet. But, as luck would have it, by the time he picks her up, she's in the mood for a wild rock concert. So off they go, him in his carefully chosen suit, and her in her rebellious leather jacket, head-banging to the deafening music. Another day, he decides to surprise her with a box of her favourite chocolates, only to find out that she's suddenly on a diet. But does he despair? No. He quickly adapts and swaps the chocolates for a basket of exotic fruits. The look of surprise and delight on her face was worth every effort. And then there was the time when he had planned a quiet evening in, watching her favourite rom-coms. But instead, they ended up dancing the night away at a salsa club, matching steps to the fiery rhythm of the music. He was out of his depth, sure, but the sight of her laughing and twirling made him forget his 2 left feet. Throughout this courtship, our guy was kept on his toes, never knowing what to expect next. But each unpredictable moment, each sudden change of plans, brought with it a rush of excitement, a thrill that he had never experienced before. And so, our guy found himself helplessly entangled in her madness, and surprisingly, he was starting to enjoy it. This was not the love story he had imagined, but it was one that he wouldn't trade for anything else. After all, who wants predictable when you can have hilariously twisted? The chaos had now turned into an eccentric love that was as consuming as it was exhilarating. Their relationship was a whirlwind of unpredictability, a dance of love and madness, in the most unconventional sense. Imagine this: it's 2 a.m, a time when most of the world is lost in dreams. But not for our couple. They're on their way to the airport, bags hastily packed for an impromptu trip. Destination? A mystery. The thrill of the unknown is their guide. That's just how they rolled, unplanned, unscripted and utterly spontaneous. But the eccentricity wasn't just confined to their adventurous escapades. It spilled over to their everyday lives too, like that one time when he forgot the name of her imaginary friend. Yes, you heard it right, an imaginary friend. A fit of rage ensued, tears, tantrums, the works. To an outsider it was madness, but for them it was just another day in their wonderfully twisted love story. Yet, amidst all this chaos, there was genuine affection, an affection that was as real as the madness that surrounded them. Every impulsive decision, every irrational argument, every wild adventure was underscored by a deep and unwavering love for each other. They would go to the ends of the earth and beyond if they could, just to see the other smile. Their love was a beautiful mess. It was a roller coaster ride that only went up, spiraling into the sky, higher and higher with each passing moment. It was the kind of love that made you feel alive, that made you want to dance in the rain and scream from the rooftops. It was a love that was as chaotic as a storm, yet as serene as a rainbow. In their madness, they found a unique love story that was as chaotic as it was beautiful. In the end, isn't that what love is all about? Finding beauty in the chaos and chaos in the beauty. For them, their love was their madness, and their madness their love. But as they say, the higher you fly, the harder you fall. The breakup was a spectacle, as grand and dramatic as the love that had once bloomed between them. Our brilliantly broken guy, once so smitten, was now struggling to navigate the stormy seas of her wildly bipolar emotions. One moment she was the sun, radiant and warm. The next, she was a thunderstorm, electric and terrifying. He found himself clinging onto the remnants of their love, like a shipwrecked sailor clings onto a piece of driftwood in a storm. And our girl, oh, she was a tempest. Her love for him was as profound as her anger. She was a tornado tearing through the landscape of their relationship, leaving destruction in her wake. His issues, once endearing quirks, now seemed like insurmountable obstacles. She was battling her own demons, and his seemed like an army she could not defeat. Their breakup was not a one-time event, oh no. It was a series of mini heartbreaks, a roller coaster of emotions. They broke up and patched up more times in a day than most people change their clothes. One moment they were throwing accusations, the next they were throwing apologies. It was a dance, a chaotic tango of love and hate, of desire and disdain. They fought like cats and dogs, their arguments echoing through the empty hallways of their once shared home. Their words were weapons, their silences shields. They were warriors battling each other with the ferocity of love turned sour. But amidst the chaos, amidst the storm, there were moments of calm. Moments when they remembered the love they once shared, the laughs, the whispers, the shared dreams. These moments were fleeting, like the calm before a storm. But they were there, reminders of a love that once was. And just like that, their chaotic love story seemed to have come to an end. Or had it? But remember, chaos is the law of nature. Order is just a dream. As our story unfolds, our protagonists find themselves in the strangest of circumstances, bumping into each other after a year of separation. Time had passed, seasons had changed, but the essence of their chaotic love remained, lingering like the scent of a long-forgotten perfume. The universe, it seemed, had a peculiar sense of humor. Our brilliantly broken guy, once a mere spectator to his own life, had found solace in the written word. He began writing about their tumultuous love story, his pen bleeding their memories onto the pages. His words were raw and real, much like their love. Each sentence he wrote was a testament to their chaotic romance, a monument to their passion, a tribute to their madness. He found in his writing a therapeutic release, a way to make sense of the whirlwind that was their relationship. And our wildly bipolar girl, she too had found her own path to healing. She had started therapy to manage her mood swings, to navigate the turbulent seas of her emotions. She was learning to harness her chaos, to channel it into something positive. She was not aiming for a cure, but for control, for understanding, for acceptance. She was learning to dance in the storm, to embrace her wild side, and to love herself in all her chaotic glory. As they stood there facing each other after a year apart, they felt a familiar tug. A spark, a jolt, a pull. The embers of their love were still warm, the flame not entirely extinguished. They realized that their feelings for each other hadn't faded. They had merely been buried under the rubble of their broken relationship. And as they stood there, looking at each other, they realized that their chaotic love story wasn't over yet. But that, my dear listeners, is a story for another time.